Run to silence again from downtown Grand Marais.
April 13, 2020, a Monday afternoon. Flames engulf a city block in downtown Grand Marais. Firefighters worked hours to put the fire out, but not without the loss of 3 prominent businesses. Fire crews worked to save nearby Sven-Anolis. Their efforts paid off. The crews were grateful for the extra support from surrounding agencies.
We've got Colville, Maple Hill, Lutzen, and us are all here today, along with the stop team is here. Cook County Ambulance is here checking on our folks. I see we've got Border Patrol, DNR, Sheriff's Department. So there's a whole bunch of people here today.
The Picnic and Pine Gift Shop, the Crooked Spoon Cafe, and White Pine North Gift Shop, all staples within the community, are gone.
I was sort of in shock, I think, for a long time. My husband came down and brought me a mask. COVID is such a weird element of this story. Cook County, people were gathering in mass, to be honest. And one of my first reactions was to really be fearful that with COVID, this could be one of those situations where people catch it and spread it, because we all had been so far apart, and now we were all coming together. And Cook County people want to give you hugs, and they want to be empathetic, and at least want to do a nice Norwegian Scandinavian hat, right?
Months later, the state fire marshal has not reported an official cause. All 3 businesses loved by locals and visitors alike, and all 3 businesses part of a grand history.
There aren't a lot of the original buildings here. Other buildings have been destroyed by fire. According to the information, these were built in the 20s. They were 100 years old, and we lost 3 buildings, 300-year-old buildings. So I feel like even if they rebuild, it still won't have the same character.
To get to the very beginning of this row of downtown, let's rewind to the 1920s. It's unclear as to what business started in the building that formerly was Picnic and Pine, but we do know at some point Andy's Pool Hall set up shop there. In 1935, the back of the building transformed into Mrs. Agnes Jackson's restaurant. The building was eventually sold to George Brisson, who felt a pool hall was a good choice for that location.
A lot of fist fights. We had a pool hall and a duck pin bowling alley there in the back of Brisson's, and the bus depot, and you could get a nickel or a dime beer and play the slot machines, and a lot of the local girls like the CC Boys.
Over time, the Northern Lights Bar and Lounge and the American Legion made their home there. Eventually, it became the home of the Attic, which was then sold to the Kennedys, who turned it into Picnic and Pine.
And when it was a Northern Lights bar, they had this built-in bar that's in the back of the store the whole time we had it, because you can't pull it out. It's built into the frame of the building. I mean, probably not actually the wall, but into all of the decorative pieces, the carpeting.
In the meantime, history had already begun right next door. The spot that ended as a restaurant began as a restaurant. In 1923, Helen Jackson purchased the land the Crooked Spoon sat on. She called it Jackson's Cafe. 3 years later, the Greyhound bus depot was added to the cafe. It's said to have included a small theater in the back that sat 20 people, but was never used. Starting in the 70s, all the way through 2001, it was the license headquarters where one could buy vehicle or fishing licenses. In 2006, Sarah and Nate Hinges leased the building, eventually purchasing it to run the Crooked Spoon Cafe. In between the Crooked Spoon and Sven-Anolis Pizza was White Pine North, with another long history. 1923 was a big year for the women of Cook County. It was then that Ruth Soderberg had Andrew Schold build the 25-square-foot building. Later, she had Andrew Hedstrom build another 25-square-foot addition. It became a dry goods and clothing store. 10 years later, it became Photo Service and Great Northern Dry Cleaning and Laundry Service. Through time came another name change, Photo Art Shop. In 1973, Jim and Jackie Larson bought Photo Art Shop, and in 1998 turned it into the White Pine North Gift Shop. In January 2020, the Larsons sold White Pine North to Tyler and Jessica Dean, just 3 short months before the fire claims their new purchase.
But yeah, we're just brainstorming on how we can get back up on our feet after the fire, and
It'll take some time because it's been a month and it's still
still a pile of rubble.
but yeah.
If only the charred beams and burned bricks that are now left behind could talk, we could learn even more about this block of businesses in Memory Lane. For now, the future of the 3 businesses is yet to be determined. Will history be made once again in these downtown lots, or will they remain empty? We hope the former. For the Cook County Historical Society, I'm Tracy Croteau.